Hallo iedereen, welkom bij Dutch&Go. Today we're going to talk about Dutch study books for beginners. I'm going to give you some personal recommendations. We're going to do some reviews. It's going to be fun, interesting, and hopefully useful for you. That is to say, the students. Just for you to know, I wasn't paid by any editor house for any of this. These are my very personal, biased opinions on books that I've been using over the last couple of years during my classes, and of course I'm leaving out a whole bunch of other books, so yeah, like, don't go too crazy in the comment section about, like, you know, things that I left out or things that I forgot. I'm sure I left out a lot because there's a lot available. In general, I do have to say that most of the Dutch study books out there are in Dutch from the Netherlands and not Dutch from Flanders. That's also quite logical because, first of all, well, the Netherlands is economically a lot, yeah, let's say stronger. They have a lot more editor houses because they have a greater number of people. The population is a lot bigger than the Flemish region, for that matter. So that also explains why you have so many more study and course books. And then also with regards to people who want to learn Dutch, chances are that they want to go to the Netherlands and want to learn Dutch from the Netherlands and not Dutch from Flanders, etc., etc. There's a whole bunch of reasons out there why that is the case. But yeah, just so you know, it can be quite a frustrating experience to find course books in Flemish Dutch, but not to worry, I've got you covered. Be sure to watch until the end of the video because there I'll be giving you a highly personal recommendation of a fantastic Flemish Dutch course study book. Let's go to Dutch course book number 1, Taal Vitaal. So here is the werkbook and here is the textbook. It basically consists of 2 parts. Sorry for the paper copies, but I don't have the actual version here with me. I just printed this out. My original version is still in Belgium in a box somewhere. I don't know, lockdown, I guess. But this is quite a good book for beginners. It's quite good for self-study as well. They provide you with a whole bunch of audio material that is also quite good. For pronunciation, at the beginning of every chapter you have some pronunciation exercises and spelling exercises. So yeah, if you want to practice pronunciation in Dutch and you feel like you have some issues with that, believe me, this book is really, really good in helping you notice the small nuances in the pronunciation. So that's really good. Another thing that I really like is the grammar explanation. It's quite visual. They use a lot of colors, a lot of like small pictures and drawings. It's very colorful and well structured as well. So that means that it's also quite easy to take all the information in. I like the exercise. They have a lot of good vocabulary exercises, I have to say. With regards to the things that I think could be improved, sometimes a little bit too serious. My classes are quite informal, playful, and fun. And this book sometimes feels a little bit too, I don't know, serious, adult, constrained, limited, if that is to say. Like the dialogues are just a little bit too, I don't know, serious, and I'm missing a little bit of jokes or something to have fun with, something to play around with. I feel personally sometimes also as a teacher that it's a lot more difficult to come up with cool speaking exercises based on the exercises that it give me. So I think, and now I'm talking from the perspective of teachers, if you're an unexperienced teacher, there might be better books out there for you to start with than Taal Vitaal, because I feel like it doesn't give you, let's say, that many creative options with regards to giving your students cool exercises. For people who want to do self-study, you could do a lot worse than this one. A lot worse. This is a very good option if you want to do self-study at home. I think this book will give you a solid basis with some very interesting articles too, a lot of good audio material and a lot of good pronunciation exercises as well. So I think in general my evaluation of this book is quite positive, and I would definitely recommend it if you want to study Dutch from the Netherlands and you want to have a good solid basis of the language. Then the second one is Nederlands in Gang. This is actually part of a series from the Dutch editor house Coutinho. So they also have Nederlands in Actie, Nederlands op niveau, Nederlands naar perfectie. That's basically a series of books that would take you from A1 to C1. And this one comes with a little bit of reservation. I think what I like about it is that they have structured the book according to dialogue. So, for example, in a store, in a market, conversation between family members, all of that stuff. That's kind of cool. And I do like that. However, because they're so location bound, the dialogues, in a way, it also feels very, very strange. And like the dialogues feels a little bit sort of, I don't know, not tense, but limited. It doesn't feel very natural in a way, even though they're trying to confront students with natural speech. I think they've maybe forced the concept maybe a little bit too much. And then the other thing that I personally really don't like, or that I would have to say, be careful with this book, the grammar is quite well explained, but I do feel that a lot of it is intuitive. So if you're someone who's looking for a book that will keep grammar explanation to a bare minimum, and where you sort of have to figure a lot of things out for yourself, and you don't mind that, and you don't mind being not taken by the hand when it comes to grammar explanations, then I think this will be the right book for you. Might also be very good in combination with a good proper class, and in combination with extra material, extra exercises, and just the backup support of that a good teacher in a good class context can provide you with. For self-study, I really would not recommend this, but hey, maybe you've already tried it with self-study and you've used it for self-study and you've had a good experience with it. I'm not sure. That's of course always possible, so I'm not going to argue with your experience if that's the case. However, in general, if you're looking for a book and you want to study Dutch by yourself, then maybe Nederlands in Gang should not be your first pick. But it could be a very nice book if you're using another book in class that maybe you're not extremely satisfied with. Then I think it's a good backup option, and I think it's also just in general a good option to use in a classroom context or with a private teacher. But I do think you need that extra backbone of support of someone, of a teacher, of someone else. Then that brings me to my final and third pick of the day, which is Vanzelfsprekend. This is the new edition. There's also an older edition, but this is the newer edition. I'm not gonna lie, I love this book. I really do. I do have some criticisms. There are some things that could definitely be improved upon, even with this newer edition. But in general, I do like it. I love how the grammar is explained. It's quite simple and transparent. They focus a lot on structure and repeatancy of structure, which I don't think is always as clear in other Dutch grammar books. But with Vanzelfsprekend, that's super clear. Also, I should mention, this is, as far as I know, the only Dutch course book that is in Flemish Dutch and not in Dutch from the Netherlands. So if you're looking for something in Flemish Dutch, that's your guy. That's the go-to. They also have a whole lot of material. So I think there's about 4 CDs of audio. There's video included. Yeah, it's a lot of material. So I think that is great and will provide you with a solid base. There's of course a textbook and a werkbook. So you have both with solutions. It's perfect for self-study because everything is explained so well, and because of the way that the individual chapters and parts from the textbook and the werkbook are linked up and refer back to each other, it's so easy to use at home just by yourself, and to use this book for self-study. Amazing. Something else that I really like is the playfulness. It's super playful. The dialogues are a little bit funny, absurd. They're based on a lot of like soap kind of dialogues. Also, the video material that they use is like a sort of soap, bit of an outdated soap, and it's a bit comical, a bit funny, but at the same time not stupid. And I think that's such an important criterion, because I feel that sometimes when I'm looking for material, when I'm looking for dialogues, a lot of it feels so childish and stupid and belittling in a way for adults that, I don't know, I always end up feeling a little bit frustrated. With this book, I don't have that. It's light and playful and funny, with like funny little intricacies and situations and misunderstandings and things like that. It's kind of funny, playful, but you'll learn a lot from it, and the huge, extensive audio, video material that comes with it will give you a solid backbone of support as well. Having said all of that, what could this book improve? Well, I think sometimes it's missing some current stuff. So this is a personal gripe, but I think it's super important to talk about technology. Whether it's about, I don't know, like Google Maps when reading out a map, or whether it's talking about contact details. It's these little things, because especially this is a new edition from, let's see, 2018. Yep, 2018. And for that, I'm not seeing anything in here about Instagram, Facebook. They're not using anything that is sort of current. So, I don't know, I think references like that would have made this book even better and more solid, and would have made this book a lot more relatable. Another thing that I'm not necessarily a fan of is the verb lists that are provided at the end with regards to the perfectum and imperfectum. I think they could be organized better. Yeah, sure, they're organized alphabetically, but I think you could do it differently in a way that you see more clearly how it's actually always the same pattern that it's repeating, basically. These are minor. I'm really nitpicking here now. These are minor details. But in general, I think if you're looking for a Flemish Dutch study book and you want to do some self-study and you're looking for something that will provide you with a solid grammatical base and will provide you with funny dialogues and good speaking exercises and good exercises overall, you can't really go wrong with this one, even though there are still some things that could be improved upon. So there you go. There are other options out there too that I don't know intimately well. I know about Code, I know about Help, I know about a book Vooruit, which is part of the preparation for the NT1 or the NT2 state exam. That's sort of part of that, let's say, whole course. And those books I would say are okay, but they've never stolen my heart, or I've never really used them all that much to such an extent that I would feel myself capable of really delivering you a proper review of these books. So yeah, that's it. 3 books. I hope this was helpful. When you're looking for Dutch material, I hope this video helped you a little bit. Let me know what you think about any of these books. Have you had any experiences with any of these books yourself? What do you think? And also, I would like to know from you, what do you think about these videos? Should I make more of them? Do you want me to review more books like this? Because believe me, I also have seen some very, very bad ones, and I wouldn't mind doing a couple of rants, but I would just like to really know from you guys as well, since we've now also almost reached 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What you would like to see, and if there's something that you think could be fun, worthwhile, interesting for you to watch. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, en tot de volgende keer. Dag!